Marcel, who has more to gain with a finals win? Is it Steph Curry or Jayson Tatum?
Oh, it's Jayson Tatum, the guy who has more greatness in front of him in terms of trying to close the gap between the all-time greats. Think about where Steph Curry is right now. No matter what you think of him, he's somewhere in the teens in terms of all-time greats. Somewhere in the teens. You can have him really up high or you can have him pretty down low, but he's somewhere in those teens trying to crack that top 10. Now, look at Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum's not even top 75. Like, Jayson Tatum right now is sitting in a position like, how do I get into the conversation with the greats? That's why it's on Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum, we all know, rest in peace, was mentored by Kobe Bryant. Represents Kobe Bryant in a Game 7 by putting on the armband. He wants to have the Mamba mentality when he goes out there. So, Jayson Tatum, let's compare you to young Kobe Bryant. You know that Jayson Tatum in his first 5 years in the league compared to Kobe Bryant is outpacing Kobe Bryant in major statistical categories such as points, rebounds, three-pointers, even all-star games. So Jayson Tatum knows, hey, for me to beat Kobe Bryant, I'm at a good place, I'm in a good pace, but boy, I need to close this gap. But who's he going against? Going against Steph Curry. Let's compare him to Steph Curry at the same time in their careers. Outpacing Steph Curry in every major statistical category, including all-stars, including playoff appearances. So all of a sudden, if you're Jayson Tatum, you start running that mental math of thinking, I know who I want to be. I was mentored by one of them, and now I'm facing the other one. Well, to close that gap, I got to show up in the biggest moments. It's on Jayson Tatum right now to close that gap between him and the all-time greats.
For me, I hear you on Jayson Tatum. I just vehemently disagree on Jayson Tatum.
Tell me why.
Because Steph Curry is talking about becoming a top 10 performer all time. That's who Steph Curry is talking about becoming. Jayson Tatum can become great, but he just can't become that caliber of greatness that Steph Curry can become. So while Jayson Tatum can enter into a conversation of stardom, can enter into a conversation of present-day top 5 player, Steph Curry's trying to enter into a conversation of all-time top 10 player. So for that reason, it's not even really a debate. Jayson Tatum is trying to become what Steph Curry has already been time and time again. It is truly Steph Curry, but Slick, I want to hear your opinion. I can follow up.
Yeah. I have to go back to the question, who would benefit more? And it has to be Jayson Tatum.
Thank you.
Because being branded as a champion, I would say this for all the Celtics, being branded as a champion puts you just in a different category. Let's think about Dirk Nowitzki versus Charles Barkley. We know who the better player overall was, but one was a champion, one was not. Dr. J versus Elgin Baylor. Kyrie Irving versus Tracy McGrady. In a lot of these instances, Kevin Garnett versus Karl Malone. A lot of these instances, if we just took a step back and said, well, who is the better player? It's, in most cases, at least in some, it's the guy without the ring. But when we think of them, and we think of them as champions, we put them in a different category. And on the flip side of that, of all the arguments that are made of why LeBron James might be better than Larry Bird, it's not because LeBron James has 4 rings to Larry Bird's 3. Now, if we're talking about finals MVP, then I can certainly see the case where winning finals MVP is going to elevate Steph Curry to a place that he currently does not reside. But that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about winning a ring. And if it's just winning a ring, if it's just being a 4th champion for Steph versus being a first-time ever champion for Jayson Tatum, there is, to use your words, Acho, there is no debate as to who it better serves. It's Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, thank you. Look at it from the perspective of where Jayson Tatum is, and then compare that to what Steph Curry is going through. Jayson Tatum is just trying to get in the room. He's on the outside looking in, where Steph Curry's in the room just trying to get a better table. Completely different circumstances when you think about it. Do I get what you already have, Steph Curry, or does Steph Curry get more of what he already has? And that's the conversation. Slick brought it up. first-time champion versus fourth-time champion, the father in me just goes to the fact that I have 4 kids right now. Now, when I became a father for the first time, woo, life-changing. My 4th kid, I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't redundant, but I knew what to expect. I just knew it was coming. I was like, another one. Sound like DJ Khaled over here with these kids. So the point is, there's something greatly different becoming a bona fide, solidified champion versus just a 4th-time multiple champion.
Let me shut this down biologically, philosophically, sociologically.
Good luck.
All right.
Good luck.
Slick.
Logically.
What makes the Earth so great, right? What makes the Earth so great?
We have no comparison.
Great. What makes the Earth so great, if we're being honest, though, it's proximity and its relation to the sun.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Without the sun, Slick Rick, Earth, frozen. Without the sun, photosynthesis, not existing.
Ooh.
Without the sun, carbon dioxide, oxygen, yeah, that relationship's fractured. What makes the Earth so great is its relationship to the sun. So why does Steph Curry have significantly more to gain? Because when you want to talk about the Suns of the NBA, that is the largest in the galaxy.
Phoenix?
When you want to talk about the brightest, I'm not talking about the Phoenix Suns.
Oh.
I'm talking about the likes of Michael Jordan,
Ooh.
the likes of LeBron James. Those are the stars that shine brightest in the NBA. If you want to think, Slick Rick, about what another title would do for Steph Curry, think about what it would do to Steph Curry's relationship to that star of LeBron James. You want to talk about Steph Curry would now have 4 titles since LeBron James has entered the league. How many has LeBron James had? 4 titles since LeBron James entered the league. Now talk about other players' relationships to the Sun. Tim Duncan, that's a top 10 player. Dwayne Wade, one of the best, if not the best shooting guards of all time. Kobe Bryant, that's a top 10 player. Kevin Durant, that's someone who people try to make a top 10 player.
Sure.
Think about their relationships to the Sun. Kawhi Leonard, that was one of the best two-way players of the generation up until he tore his ACL. Now let's talk about Michael Jordan, because again, he was a star that shined the brightest. Think about Michael Jordan and how many people won chips during his tenure. Well, Magic Johnson only got 3 compared to Jordan's 6. Magic Johnson, that's a top 10 player. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's a top 10 player. James Worthy, obviously he won his with Magic. But y'all see, the relationship to the stars, to the sun, is what makes those other players so great. And they didn't even get nearly as many as Jordan. So,
Get him, Slick. Get him,
what I'm saying
Slick.
is this.
Get him,
Hold on,
Slick.
I ain't done.
Astronomy ass. Astronomy.
I ain't done.
Get out this.
I ain't done.
Astronomy.
Slick,
Hey,
if Steph Curry can get to 4, Slick, if Steph can get to 4, the same number as LeBron James, the greatest player either ever, or the greatest player since the turn of the century. If Steph Curry can get to 4, that's significantly greater than Jayson Tatum just getting to 1. If Steph can get to 4, he's a top 10 player.
It's hot in here.
Neil Tyson DeGrasse, are you done? Carl Sagan, are you
go to
done?
Texas.
Are we done?
He did.
Are we done?
Astrophysicist.
He is a Texas alum.
Okay, hold on. So first of all, who's the Sun?
Yeah, how many
who are you
sons we
referencing?
got?
Who's the Sun?
LeBron James is the current one.
No.
Thank you.
LeBron is not the Sun.
Where are you going?
Bill Russell is the Sun in your analogy. And how often
played in
do
the
we
60s.
reference
Old-ass Sun.
Steph or Michael or LeBron or anybody else in your constellation? How often do we reference them to Bill Russell? We do not reference them to Bill Russell. So I love that you went to such great lengths, but it's a false premise. I'm not comparing Steph to LeBron on your metric where we're going to take a certain era and then we're going to say this guy won this
Put on your
millennium.
spacesuit.
Like,
Put on your spacesuit and go get it.
It ain't happening.
I'm not asking you to, Slick, but what I'm asking you to do is this, Slick. What I'm asking you to
Go
do
on the space shuttle with him.
if you recognize the greatest player of this generation is LeBron James, and the greatest player of the previous generation is Michael Jordan, then anybody who came close in proximity to titles is Michael Jordan, and anybody that's come close in proximity to titles as LeBron James is also great based upon the proximity. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh.
Acho, you're making a fair point. Marcellus is just killing me over here.
What was that movie?
Voicelessly floating with no gravity in his spacesuit.
I'm trying to find the sun.
Oh. No,
Hey, let's bring this back to earth. Let's bring it back to earth. Woosah. Oh,
I can't.
Me either.
Go.
Okay, I will go. I will go. And I'm not going to the sun. Let's just say I don't need any. All right, here we go. Acho, this is what we have to make you understand, at least hopefully we can in the next minute or so, that where Steph is, you're right, he's closer to the summit. He's closer to the top, whatever you want to call it, the sun in this example. But when you're that close to the top, shorter distances take longer amounts of time. Think about it, as we talked about it before, in hiking. When you hike Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro, we've seen it on YouTube 1,000 times. Day one, they just going. You're like, whoa, look at them. And then day 33, you're like, oh, that looks like day 32. That looks like day 31. They haven't moved much. And I think that's what it is for Steph Curry. Another championship, obviously it closes the gap, but incrementally, because where can he go? He's so close to the top. It's so difficult to move up. But when you're talking about starting at the bottom, where Jayson Tatum is, he's outside the conversation, NBA top 75. He's not considered an all-time great. Just to get on the mountain, you're going to see him close that gap a lot quicker in this amount of time if he goes out there and wins. What's up, Slick?
Here's the distinction, too. He's got to get a Finals MVP.
Ooh.
If he just gets another ring and he's not Finals MVP, then it really is an incremental gain. Because it's not like Bird, who didn't win an MVP, Finals MVP every time, but he already had two when Cedric Maxwell got his. And that's the distinction for Steph. And we're just talking a ring. A ring is not where Steph makes his game. A Finals MVP is where he takes that leap.